answering, I would like to ask simply one question. What do you feel? Are there not contradictions and conflicts in the Bible, in various books of the Bible and Gospels at present? There are. So I would like, if the Bible is brought here, I would like to mention the facts.
But the key of the Bible, the Old Testament, the New Testament, that's the crucified.
No, I would like actually the Holy Book, the Bible, and the Gospel, so that we may see whether there are conflicts and errors and contradictions in Bible or not.
But that's not. You will not be able to. You will have the chance. You will not be able to, because
Yes, in English there is a chance. You see, yes, in English.
Difference
Yes,
of,
you know that. Yes.
in one book, the genealogy of Jesus the Christ
Yes.
has been mentioned,
Yes.
and between Jesus Christ
Yes.
and Abraham,
Yes.
the prophet,
14, yes.
there are 42 names approximately.
Yes.
In one book, 42 names.
Yes.
And in second book,
Yes.
second Gospel,
Yes.
the same genealogy has been mentioned.
Yes.
And from Jesus Christ to Abraham,
Yes.
there are approximately 54 names.
Maybe.
So there is a difference of approximately 14 names in genealogy of Jesus Christ.
Exactly.
And since these are considered to be the divinely revealed books, had it been the divinely revealed,
Not according
so,
to the analogy.
so why there is difference of 14
Yes, there's no difference
names?
because the mention, there's no contradiction. There's a difference, but there's no contradiction.
A person says that he is son of
God. And that's
no,
the
no,
main thing.
no, no, he is father of him,
Yes.
he is father of that,
Yes.
he father of so, and he father of so,
Yes.
till Jesus Christ.
Yes.
So it is completely mentioned. And here in one book, it is mentioned that there are 14, you can say, persons between Jesus Christ and Abraham.
Oh, yes.
42.
Yes, but-
Second book, second gospel says no, there are 54 persons,
But
54
they
four
were never
fathers
enemies.
between
They
it.
were never enemies about that question. They were good friends about that question. They chose.
The difference between 14 persons,
Yes, but those,
between the genealogy mentioned in the two gospels. Why?
The one who mentions the few numbers of fathers doesn't say there were only those.
But this is said son of that, son of that, son of that.
Yes, of course.
Moreover,
Yes, but not yes, but that,
once the genealogy is mentioned in
I'm
detail,
also son of my grandfather. I'm also son of my grandfather. Yes, and we all are Abraham's children. We're all sons of Abraham, aren't we?
but in genealogy, like this is not the method in genealogy.
Well, that's
Generally it is said,
that's
generally it is said likewise, generally. But when we talk of genealogy, we talk in direct sense.
and yes, but still you will.
Son of father, then he of grandfather, he of his father, he of his father. Genealogy requires the accuracy.
And what will you prove with that?
The proof is that there is a hell of difference between 14 names.
Numbers, hundreds of different.
Four-
Hundreds of different. We know all about that.
Yeah.
But what will you prove with that?
Then, it is clear. You say that there is no conflict, but there is difference between them. So you accept this thing, that there is a difference in the statement of Gospel of Matthew and the Gospel of Luke. You accept the difference. That's right. My question is not concerning whether the Christ is in eternal world of God or not. My question is simply concerning with this issue, that there are the differences and conflicts and contradictions between various books of Bible. This was my point. So I have given you the first example, and you have agreed up to this extent that there is difference between the two gospels, but not conflict. So I have proved one point, that there is difference between Gospel of Matthew and Gospel of Luke. You accept this thing, as far as the genealogy is concerned. So my point was simply this, that there is difference. You accept that there is difference between the gospel, statements of gospel. This was one point. Again, but this kind of difference can never be mentioned in Quran.
No, and that's what.
I want to give another point, number 2. The second point is, what do you believe that the 5 books which are known as last point, only last one. My dear brother, what do you believe that these first 5 books of the Old Testament,
I believe
are these divine books of Mosaic? Are these divine books in Bible? That's right. That the book 5 books. We say them Torah, revealed on Mosaic, and the Gospel, Injil, we say it Injil, Gospel, were revealed on Jesus the Christ. We accept their divinity, their divinely revealed nature, we accept. But our point is that these were distorted subsequently, and corruptions were made into it. There are people and priests, and you can say that various Christians, and at present, these books which are included in this holy book, Bible, in their present condition, these are not the original one, because there are some differences and erroneous statements of facts in this book. So I am going to make the point clear through another example. So the question is, my dear friends, I would like all friends and all participants to concentrate on the point that this is a book, as our very learned and respectable friend and brother has stated, that this is the book divinely revealed on Mosaic. It is revelation. So revelation is always made in the lifetime of the prophet. The word of God is revealed in the lifetime of the prophet on him, and he speaks through his mouth to his people, to his followers. So this is a book in Bible which is revealed, which is said to be revealed on Mosaic in his lifetime, and through his mouth, my dear, through his mouth, these words were communicated to Mosaic. But our point is that these books were written after the death and demise of the prophet by some another people as the books of history. So these books were not in fact the revelation, but these were the compilation of historical facts by other people. So this book is revealed on Mosaic. In ये किताब मूसा पर वही की गई, revealed on Mosaic. It is stated in this revelation. And Moses, the servant of the Lord, you understood the para 34, it is before you, died. And Moses, the servant of the Lord, died there in Moab, as the Lord had said. He buried him in Moab, in the valley opposite Beth Peor. But to this day, no one knows where his grave is. Moses was 120 years old when he died, yet his eyes were not weak nor his strength gone. The Israelites grieved for Moses in the plains of Moab 30 days until the time of weeping and mourning was over. So these words, how is this possible that these words were revealed on Moses in his lifetime by Almighty God? And it is included in a book which is said to be revealed on Moses. And this book, the verses of this book says that when Moses died, he was 120 years old, and he died and was buried at that place, and his followers wept on him after his death for 30 days, and his grave is not known to anybody else. All of these facts explain the reality that these were written afterwards by anybody else and included in the book which was revealed on Moses.
That's not right.
How is it possible that...
The main thing of what is that was told by Moses to the people, and the people heard what Moses.
But how this was told, it is saying, that's right.
And those who had the trouble to write down what was told by Moses, they made a frame about this story and told what they knew about Moses, who had told what is in the book. That's very clear.
So this is how Moses died.
You are much closer, culturally, you are much closer to that tradition than we poor Westerns are. You are a learned and wise Easter, and you know that in the Eastern cultural tradition, they have this wonderful training to hear what is told.
No,
and they can remember from generation to generation.
Yes, but we don't believe this thing.
But more important, what has been told from generation to generation. But then in course of tradition, somebody writes down what has been told from generation to generation.
So that's not right. We don't believe in such kind of revelation.
They've been told much longer than they've been written.
My dear brother, this is the thing that anybody could write anything and can claim that I have been told by Moses or Jesus the Christ spiritually that this is right. This is not the way. This makes doubtful the integrity of the book. Here we believe that this is a book which was revealed on Moses in his lifetime, and but how? Then it makes it you have it. You say. What do you believe? Our brother has explained. He explained. What do you believe?
But one thing, when it comes, for instance, to the book of Moses, we call them by name historical books. They are telling us the true history of the person, a real person, Moses, who lived. Moses. And of Moses. We call them by name historical books. They are telling us the true history of the person, a real person, Moses, who lived. An important thing for us to know. And I think we need to respect the book in giving a fair judgment.
We accept your comment, my dear. Thank you very much. So the question is clear now, that you have said that these are not the books which were revealed on those prophets, but you accept that these are the books of history which give us the history and story of those prophets. But the question lies, who wrote this book? That book which says who wrote it, and where is the name of the author? You have given that this is Holy Bible. You will answer sitting. Please be sitting. Let me explain what I want to explain. Now the question arises that I accept your point. I accept your point. Your point is that according to your faith, these are not those books which were revealed on Moses or which were revealed on Jesus Christ. But these are the books which tell us the story of those, how God revealed through them. So here two questions arises. Please note them down. There are two questions. Number one, had there in fact any book or revelation which was communicated to Jesus Christ himself and the Moses in his lifetime? Is there the revelation which was the word of Almighty Allah which were revealed to Christ and Moses? Number one. Then, please, number one. This is the first question. So where these books were revealed these were revealed in the form of books. Number one. You say yes, he says no. You say yes, he says no. No. You say yes, he says sorry. So you are saying, so on the basis of your view, your explanation, two questions arise. Number one, was there any revelation and was there any collection of the words which were revealed in the lifetime of Moses and Jesus Christ?
Not as collections.
Not as collections. Number one, I would like, my dear, I would like to put two questions firstly. Number one and number two, according to your explanation and your faith and your belief, these are not the books which are included in Bible according to your faith. These are not those books which were actually revealed on those prophets, but these are the books written by somebody else which tell the story of the prophet, of the Jesus, of the Moses, how God revealed through them. If these are the books written by anybody else, this book, I am talking of not gospel, I am talking of this book of Moses. If this is the book which tells us the story of Moses, so who has written this book? I am talking of Deuteronomy. But please be seated. Number one. Number two. Number two. Who has written this book? And number two, who was the author? Who is the author of this book? And where is the name of the author? This is the question. Yeah.
I ask a real example.
Yeah.
Am I wearing trousers? Yes. Are they made of woven cloth? Are they?
Yes.
Are they made of woven cloth?
Yeah.
Are they? Yeah. Who wove this cloth? Who has woven this?
There may be the chit of the manufacturing company.
No.
Why you don't know? When you go to the shop, you know that this is the manufacturer product of that company.
If I go
You sometimes get some Sparks and Mark and Spencer, you know the company who has manufactured the thing.
You will never.
But there is a lot of difference between your trizer. We are talking of evolution. We are talking of book.
Only an example.
If this book was written by anybody else, where is the name of the author? I want my last point, my dear brother. My last point. I have picked up your point. Your point is that according to your faith, this book, the Holy Bible, is not the book as such revealed on the prophets, whereas our book, the Quran, is a book which is revealed on Holy Prophet as such. So you have accepted the point that these are the books which were compiled afterwards by some people through the divine words of those prophets or Jesus the Christ and Moses. So here it is accepted that these books were not revealed on them, but these are the books which tell the stories of those prophets. So there is a hell of difference between the integrity of the two books. Now the question, third, last point, we will ask your permission to depart. The last point, if these are books, so it is accepted that you have accepted the point, or you have clarified the point, that these are not revealed books. These are the books compiled afterwards and which tells us the stories of those prophets. And the compiler of these books are various persons, not Moses himself and not various persons after, not, that's right. Now the last point is that if these books are compiled afterwards under the divine guardianship of the prophets, as you are saying, under the divine world, of the spiritual world, then there should be no contradiction. Then there should be no contradiction. I am not talking of difference. That point has been cleared. Then there should be no contradiction between two books or two statements. That's right. So we see a lot of contradictions even in Bible, in statements. If there are contradictions, then we have to accept the reality that these were not written under the divine guidance of the prophets. If there are contradictions, if I am going to mention you a particular sample, not concerning the interpretation, concerning with the conflict on fact and figure. For example, in Samuel, again in Samuel 2, 10-15, so at any place we can see, I think my brother will guide. I will mention the thing. Yeah. My dear brother, here is it in one book. It is mentioned, the fighting began and Israelites drove the Syrian army back. David and his men killed 700 Syrian chariot drivers. This is the statement of one book. The Israelites drove the Syrian army back. David and his men killed 700 Syrian chariot drivers. This is the statement of one book. Now the second book says, same thing, same situation, same event. The fighting began, now second reference. And the Israelites drove the Syrian army back. David and his men killed 7,000 Syrian chariot drivers. One book says that 700 people were killed by David and his men in the same incident. Second book says that 7,000 people were killed by the David in the same incident.
True. It can't be true according to two different numbers of soldiers in
No, number of soldiers. The number of the people who were killed by David.
According to that.
We believe in the prophethood of Jesus. We believe in the truthfulness of the prophet of the Jesus. We have a lot of hundreds, thousands, and millions regards and respects, and 100 times respect for Jesus the Christ. We believe that if any of the Muslims does not believe in the prophethood and truthfulness of Jesus the Christ, he will become non-believer. He will be expelled from Islam. We have thousands and millions of regards and respect to Jesus the Christ. My point, my dear brother, at the moment, I am not talking about the question of Jesus the Christ. This has been never the point of our discussion. Our point of discussion is that if these books are rightly written down, and these books contain the right and correct statements, the books which are contained in the Holy Bible, if these books are consist correct statements, then how the two books of the Holy Bible are not only different but conflicting so much so that at one occasion one book says that on the same incident the 700 people of that army were killed by David, and second book says that in the same incident 7,000 people of that army were killed by the David. So this is not the question of interpretation. This is the question of conflict on the narration of fact. One book is saying that 700 people were killed. Second book is saying that no, 7,000 people were killed. Had it said 700 or 710, it would be acceptable. But 700 and 7,000, there is a lot of difference. So this is not question of interpretation. This is question of conflict of fact. This is the reason that till now, because there were no defenses on Quran, that's why 1400 years have gone. 1400 years have passed. From the time of revelation till now, there is no second, you can say, book. There is no even difference of one sentence. There is no even difference of one, you can say, word. In thousands and millions of Quran are being published in East and in West and everywhere. But there are no differences. Whereas, and there is no second copy of Quran differing with the first.